The W Wallke X3 Pro electric bike is sitting right here in front of me, and I have to say, this thing immediately grabs your attention. Its robust construction, thick 26-inch fat tires, and futuristic design give off a vibe that it's ready for any challenge. At first glance, the bike doesn't just look practical. It feels like it's meant to do more. Whether it's climbing steep hills, cruising through sand and mud, or just taking on your daily commute with ease. When I first unboxed it, I'll be honest, I was slightly intimidated. This isn't your average bike. Its dual 1,000-watt motors, which combine for a peak output of 2,000 watt, screamed power, and the frame's build made it clear that this wasn't just a toy. But once I started digging into it, I realized how thoughtfully designed and user-friendly it actually is. As someone who isn't a professional cyclist or mechanic, I appreciated that 85% of the assembly was already done. The extra bit I had to assemble was straightforward, though folding and unfolding the bike took a bit of practice at first. Now it's second nature. One of the first things I noticed when I hopped on was how much power this bike actually has. The motor kicks in smoothly, and once I hit pedal assist mode, the acceleration was faster than I expected. The bike can easily go up to 34 or 35 miles per hour, depending on the level of assistance you have set. That speed makes it great for commuting or having fun off-road. The torque also stood out to me. It has 105 newton-meters of sheer hill climbing capability, making steep inclines feel effortless. Even when I tested it on a hilly trail, I didn't have to strain at all. The power distribution felt consistent, though the throttle is something to get used to. At low speeds, it can feel slightly abrupt, which threw me off track a bit, but I adjusted quickly. Now let's talk about the battery. Having a large 48-volt 20-hour and 56Yr battery hidden in the frame is brilliant for both aesthetics and function. It's removable, which is great for charging indoors and adds peace of mind against theft. From my experience, keeping the battery locked into place when riding bumpy terrain is crucial. Otherwise, you might notice a slight rattling sound, though I wouldn't call it a deal breaker. Charging. It takes around 6 to 8 hours from empty, which feels reasonable considering the massive range you're getting. I was able to pull off around 75 miles on a mixed mode of pedal assist and throttle, which left me pretty impressed. In terms of comfort, the full suspension and those chunky 4-inch fat tires do a fantastic job. The hydraulic front forks combined with the sturdy aluminum rear shocker softened bumps even on gravel roads. I took this bike on a mixture of terrains, city streets riddled with potholes, sandy stretches near the beach, and rocky trails. On all these surfaces, the ride felt stable and predictable. The oversized saddle is another touch I really liked. It's padded enough that my longer rides didn't make me feel sore, which is always a win in my book. I'd recommend checking the tire pressure before each ride. It makes a noticeable difference in how smooth the ride feels. The dual-piston hydraulic disc brakes are reliable, and I felt confident knowing I could stop quickly when I needed to. Descending steep trails at higher speeds didn't feel risky because the stopping power is solid, even in less than ideal weather. Plus, the regenerative braking feature adds a bit of range to your battery life, which is a nice little bonus. One thing that adds a modern touch to the riding experience is the LCD display paired with app integration. The display is colorful and easy to read, showing your speed, battery level, and other key stats. With the app, I was able to customize various settings like the speed limit or cruising mode. It even has GPS capabilities and anti-theft functions, though I haven't fully explored those features yet. For those interested, there's also a USB charging port to keep your phone topped off while riding, which is more useful than I initially thought. A couple of things stood out as minor annoyances during my time with the X3 Pro. The first is the weight. At 87 pounds, this bike isn't exactly easy to carry, especially if you need to lift it into a car trunk or up a flight of stairs. Its foldable design does help a lot in terms of storage convenience. It fits neatly into my SUV once folded. However, lifting it into the car required some muscle, so keep that in mind if portability is a big factor for you. Another point worth mentioning is the handlebar sensitivity for off-road riding. The slightly shorter handlebar design makes it feel a bit twitchy at higher speeds on rough terrains. But it wasn't anything that significantly affected my confidence on the trails. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the price. The W Wallke X3 Pro falls somewhere in the $1,500 to $1,800 range, depending on where and when you buy it. At first, I hesitated because it's a lot of money for a bike, let alone an e-bike. But after spending time with it, I personally think it offers excellent value when compared to competitors like RateXpand or Aventon Cinch. both of which are similarly priced, but lack the dual motors and some of the advanced features this one packs. If you're like me and want a bike that balances raw power, comfort, and versatility, I think it's worth the price tag. From my experience, this bike is perfect for those who need an all-terrain, reliable electric bike that doesn't compromise on performance. Whether you're commuting, exploring unpaved trails, or just looking for a smarter, more efficient way to travel, this bike fits the bill nicely. I'd recommend this for intermediate to advanced riders, as beginners might find the speed and power a bit overwhelming initially. In conclusion, after a couple of months of using the W Wallke X3 Pro electric bike, I can confidently say it's more than just a fun gadget. It's a capable tool. It seamlessly combines power, range, and comfort, giving you the flexibility to ride wherever you like without second-guessing its abilities. Sure, it's not the lightest or cheapest option out there, but for what it delivers, it's hard to beat. Check the comments of this video for a link to see the current pricing of the W Wallke X3 Pro electric bike.